Marky Mark.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yeah,
what's up,
man. Now we can hear you. Hello?
Mark? We heard you for a second. Now we do not.
I'm in.
All right. Hey, Mark. This is Pedro. Pedro, this is Mark.
Hey, Mark.
What's going on, Pedro?
Pleasure. How you doing?
Nice to meet you too. I'm good. Just doing a little studying before the podcast.
Nice.
Cool. Do we start the whole interview now, or is it?
No, it's being recorded.
Oh,
it's not getting edited. Every stupid thing we said is on there.
Oh, thank God! I was gonna start cussing the storm.
Cool. So, man, I don't really know who you are besides one thing. This was a Big Dog Pocket 5 video you made. So I didn't even know it was you. But when I heard your voice, I heard you laughing a lot. Is that accurate?
Yes. I laugh at everything. Daryl can attest to that too. When I do sessions with him, we're usually laughing like 20 minutes out of the hour.
Yeah, it was something like a 5-hour series or something, and you both were laughing all the time. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's been a big influence on my career. So that was actually the first time I was learning TTs.
Daryl, do you hear that
Big
noise
dog.
too?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like there's like a very loud noise coming from you.
Did it stop?
Yeah. No, it's
Okay. Okay.
It's gone? I can actually move to my laptop if that's better, if you want to try that.
I think it might have been on my side with my headset. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So sorry, Mark. We just both didn't hear you, so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So you said something about a big dog and he's hilarious, and then it cut out.
Yeah, he was a big, I became friends with Big Dog when we were both, I don't even want to say this, but when we were both lock pros, I met him, and yeah, he was a big influence on my career, because I was playing sit and goes at the time, and obviously I knew who he was, and yeah, he kind of got me into MTTs, so I owe him a lot.
Nice. When was that? When you got into MTTs?
I think 2 years ago, roughly, I'd say.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I've only been playing. I played full-time last year, and then the year before, maybe I played like 6 months. But yeah, last year was the first time I played only MTTs for the entire year, and it went pretty well thanks to a little help from Daryl.
Yeah. Just start playing MTTs and get number one on merge. That's how does that happen? Aside from my awesomeness.
Hey, I'm not an idiot. I'm very aware that you definitely help tons. I know you're being sarcastic, but in all seriousness, like Daryl definitely. I mean, one thing you did too was introduce me to Elliot, which helped a lot. But just as far as like the game playing, like I mean, shoot, you changed my life. Just donk leading turns.
Donk leading turns. Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, and then the mental stuff was really good as well.
Yeah, that's kind of like what the whole Change the Y is about. I'm not sure if I talked to you about it, but basically we kind of focus on everything else outside of poker. It's like everything besides playing a poker hand. That's what we talk about that's related to poker. So we're really interested in mental game. We've had Elliot Rowe on the podcast as well. And I guess perhaps like, I don't know if you could talk to people about like your experience with Elliot Rowe, like how that helped you or whatever.
Yeah, well, first I want to say that I think like poker's kind of taking, I don't know, it's kind of changing now where everyone is getting into the game, and it's genius because it is more important than playing a hand, period. Like, so Elliot, yeah, you put me in contact with Elliot Rowe, and I was hesitant at first. And because I don't know, I heard a couple of things like, yeah, it's really emotional. I was like, yeah, right. I'm not an emotional guy. Like, I can deal with it. So first session, I'm like bawling in tears.
Yeah, me too, man. We all do.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm not the only pussy.
No, this is the group of pussies.
Yeah. Okay, good. But yeah, just realizing where all my anger was coming from when I was playing just really helped me. And like I started to recognize my tilt and be able to deal with it. Because I mean, Daryl, you know, like I mean, I tilted pretty hard last year. Like trying to go for that number one spot on Merge, which is absolutely meaningless to most. But to me, some reason, it meant something. So, yeah, having him through, like, especially the last 3 months when I was downswinging and, just really getting focused on not making mistakes because, shoot, like, I was playing, like, my C game probably, like, 40%, B game 20%, and A game 40%. So now, like, this year, after working with Elliot for so long, I'm playing I'm playing a lot less days too, but I'm playing my A game around, I want to say 90 to 95% of the time I actually sit down and click register.
That's impressive.
So, no, that's a big jump, and, like, I think I'm going to have a bigger year playing way less volume, way less days, way less hours. So, yeah. Man. I'm excited.
What helped you? What helped you get there in particular? I mean, you obviously don't need to get, like, very personal, but is it, like, what is it in specific that Elliot does so well to help us all, in your opinion? Because he's not really poker. It's not like really poker topics that.
Not at all. It's more life coaching, to be honest. I just feel like when I figured out where my anger was coming from related to my life because a lot of the things Elliot does is he relates why you're tilting on the felt or the virtual felt to past experiences when you were a child. And, a lot of that, going back to my childhood and some of the stuff I dealt with my father, and then maybe being short, like short man syndrome, stuff like that, like feeling I always had to prove myself. I kind of like, so we went back and forth with that, like being a big influence on why I was tilting. And I kind of just threw it away and said, fuck everyone. I'm going to do this for myself. And, I'm not worried about what anyone thinks, I guess. And, like, just knowing if I play well, the results will come.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Daryl's changing the headset.
Yeah, I got the new headset on.
Yeah, let's hope that's better.
Sorry, guys. Super professional over here.
No, Marc just explained basically what, why Elliot is so, like, what is so interesting about the Elliot's work. And I fully agree. I mean, for me, when we started talking, I always felt attacked when I got 3-bet. Whenever someone 3-bet, I felt attacked.
Yeah.
And
Spite tilt.
Yeah, exactly. It's like those little pieces of tilt, like a little bit of here, a little bit there. And then when you play like 10 tables, this amasses to huge tilt after the session. And when he started saying, man, that's just part of the game, I was like, holy shit.
I know. Like, some of the stuff he says is so easy to realize, but, like, you just need to hear someone say it, and you're like, wow, it's so right.
Yeah.
I have the same problems on the U.S. sites because I'm playing with the same guy every day. And, like, at a certain point, I'm just like, he's just fucking with me. It's like a personal attack. And they're really not. They just have hands most of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, getting over that was huge.
How long are you working with Elliot now?
Shoot.
Yeah, Pedro, I don't think it's my side, the sound thing.
Yeah, the sound is still there, yeah. Sorry, Marc.
Do you want me... Oh, no, don't worry. Do you want me to switch to my laptop? You want to pause, and I'll switch to my laptop and see if we get better?
Start the recording and then cut out the other stuff, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to start over, it's no biggie to me.
No, we can just leave it like this, and I'll just cut out the stuff that was pretty messy. It was like 1 or 2 times, not like really big.
Okay.
Cool. So, where did we stop, actually? After 50 Shades of Grey, I cannot think.
Yeah. I remember my wife had the audiobook, and she, like, put it on, and just, I'm sitting there, and it's, like, some kind of sex scene, just, like, getting mad at me because I'm, like, I got, like, a hard-on or something like that. It's like, what do you expect, dude?
Yeah, for sure. I'm watching it, and my girlfriend was like, you like that film more than me, huh? I was like, yeah, I guess. Not sure. So, but one thing is very interesting that I said to Daryl, I wanted to say to him before you came back, Marc, is that what I start searching for nowadays, since I work with Elliot, is I search for things that successful people do, even outside poker, that I can do within poker. For example, one huge example is daily habits. I don't know if you have that too, but I think there was a Jason Kuhn interview where he said he starts his day. He has like a daily routine that he starts every day in the morning. It takes him like 15 minutes. Have you heard of that?
I actually just listened to him on Joey Ingram's podcast, and he was talking about it. So yeah, I am familiar.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that
I listened to that podcast. I didn't hear it, so if you could explain what it is, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Basically, Jason Kuhn said that he starts his day off basically with high energy. So he does jumping jacks, a few hundreds of them. Then he takes ice cold showers for like 2 minutes or something like that.
Fuck that.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
And the crazy thing, I think it's Jason. Did you hear him talk about Ben Greenfield?
Yeah, something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked up Ben Greenfield, and what Ben Greenfield does, he takes a ice cold and a really hot shower. So 20 seconds ice cold, 10 seconds very, very hot, and then back to 20 seconds ice cold. And he does that every day for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably wakes you up, gets your blood flowing, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Do you have anything like that? Not like the cold shower, but maybe something else?
Yeah, as far as like a routine, I like to meditate. Meditating is essential before I grind, and also exercising, which I wasn't doing. I actually just moved to Lake Tahoe, just 3 hours away from where I'm from, and I've been working out every day, eating a lot healthier, and that type of routine with the meditation, the exercise, has I'm thinking so much clearer. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Do you think that has something to do with the more success you get, the more cleaner you eat, the more exercise you do, or do you think that?
No, not so much, because I've been, not to brag, I've been successful for a couple years and I'm still fat.
Is it because of Big Dog?
Partially. When I go to his house in Canada, oh my god, it was pizza. It was great every day.
He's on a diet though. He's on a diet now.
Yeah, but we've had some prop bets and stuff too, which have helped both of us. But yeah, I just, again, kind of what you were saying about how Jason Kuhn, you look at all these successful players and a lot of them are getting healthy, super in shape, and
yeah.
To me, it's just about feeling good. If you feel good, you're going to be more confident on the tables. And, the cliche, just life balance is I'm realizing how crucial it is. That's why I've cut down on volume so much too. I'd rather just make less money and live a happier, balanced life.
Yeah.
How did you go from, I think it's a problem a lot of people run into, how do you go from not ever working out to working out? What was your motivation, or how the fuck did you do it, basically?
Well, in high school I was a 3-sport athlete, so I'm accustomed to it. Now it's just honestly, it's such a drag. Today I'm thinking about it and I don't want to go, but I just know how I feel after, and how my sessions are so much better because I'm super ready to grind after I do go to the gym for 30 minutes. I think it's just a matter of I think a personal trainer is a really good idea. I mean, Elliot's been basically screaming about that for months, because I do need someone to be hey, gym now. And my roommate does that now, which is nice. But yeah, I don't find the motivation because I don't really give a shit about looking good for girls or anything like that. I just want to be the best poker player I can be. And like Pedro was saying, just I guess stealing what all the good players do is the key to becoming great. I mean, I took everything Daryl was doing, playing way less days, meditation, get with Elliot, and I transformed in 1 year to a pretty good player.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds exactly like me. I mean, I play less days now, and I mean, now I'm playing more because I'm not getting staked anymore, and I want to feel comfortable with my bankroll and all that stuff. But man, till December, right? January, December, I basically played 1.5 days a week, and I made more money than when I played 5, 6, 7 days a week.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
everyone looks at like I even like some of the students I have now are like calculating their expected ROI if they play X amount of games per day. And I'm like, Jesus, like everyone's got to get over that. That's not the best recipe. I mean, you play 1 or 2 days a week, you can win at like 60, 70% ROI and make up for and just have a way better life. And yeah, like my students are just blinded by like, I guess the 2+2 forum where everyone's talking about like, oh, if I win at 15% ROI and play 40 games a day, I'm making X amount of dollars. Yeah, but then you're fucking suicidal. Like, so where do we find the happy medium? Like, it just doesn't work. Like, I've switched to a lot of head up sit and goes this year because of it, because the MTT grind is brutal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sitting there 10 hours, like not being able to get up. Maybe 5 minutes if you're not playing on Bovada, but US we kind of have to fill space. Not that I love MTT still. I just realized that, like, I mean, I'm 32 years old. If I did this for 3 more years, I'd probably be a cripple because my back is already messed up. So yeah, just that life balance. Key.
Yeah, my first video, Pedro, was for Change the Y was going to be on that whole question, like Marc was talking about, because everyone just asked, like, calculating the maximum expected ROI and, like, the optimal thing and kind of just treating themselves like robots. You watched the video, so I guess you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was making an exact video on that, Marc, and I was just talking about, I think it's important to approach it that way, too. I think that's an important part of the equation, but if you're not going to approach it from the emotional side, and think about what's best for you, kind of uniquely. You know, what uniquely is optimal for you. I think you're just missing a whole other half of the equation. You're not doing
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And like you said, like 1.5, 2 days, I don't think that's right for everyone, because I know a dude who just has nothing else he wants to do besides poker, and he plays 7 days a week, but kind of plays short sessions. And I think that's probably a little bit.
That could be good too. I think that could be good too.
Yeah, and I know another dude I coach plays like 4 days a week, and that seems really good for him. Pedro does like 1.5, 2. You know, I do 1. I think it really just depends on your whole life situation and how much you enjoy playing, how much study you actually need, all that shit.
Yeah, and that's a very cool point. And today, I listened to something very interesting. I know. Do you guys know that new documentary with Matt Damon, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Harrison Ford, like with a lot of big stars? Have you heard of that?
No.
It sounds amazing,
dude. It's really, really awesome. I will definitely watch it. It's called Years of Living Dangerously. And I think they launched the first 4 episodes, and there was something very interesting, and this relates to exactly what you guys are talking about. Arnold Schwarzenegger got asked, how do you want to get those Americans away from their huge cars who are basically just polluting the whole atmosphere? And then he said, the problem is not the people that are driving the cars. The problem is the technique that's in the cars. You know, the mechanics and all that stuff. Like, how is the car driving? That's the problem. And when people come to poker, they do it because of money, mostly, right? I mean, if we think about when we started,
absolutely,
you know, we want to make money. And then there's a guy like, let's just, I'm just going to pick you, Marc. And then there's Marc standing in front of me, and I just want to make money. And he's telling me, dude, you should balance your life. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I would never understand what you're talking about. I would be like, this guy is not understanding what I want. You know, like, even if you're right, I think what these people want to hear is, you know, I want you to teach me how to make the most amount of money and not, you know, what my life is. So, for example, I started thinking about this very, very often now the last few days, because a lot of people just don't listen to me, to Daryl, to you, to anyone, you know, who says the same thing. And it's just because they have a different goal. Do you guys have any idea how we could change that? You know, what would be like a good starting point?
God.
Sorry to bring that up.
The problem is, the problem is like I came from that grind 7 days a week, 12 hours a day for money. I mean, I couldn't afford to pay my rent. I would grind so like it's hard for me to tell someone not to do that. I mean, I look at my new roommate and he's grinding for his life. Like he supports his family. So like it's hard for me to say like you should play less days. I can't say that to him. I could never say like don't help your family, like I just think you'll get like eventually you get to a certain point where you have to look at it from like, is money really worth my health? Like, I mean, shit, I played 7 events last year at the World Series. I was there the whole time. I couldn't sit. I have back spasms. I lose feeling in my legs and arms. I mean, if that sounds good, go ahead and sit and grind your ass off. But like, if you're fat and like not exercising, like it will catch up to you. I mean, I'm a victim. I mean, 7 years grinding and like, dealing with that kind of shit. I mean, I would just say, like, you just have to look at people like Cole South, David Benefield, both were on Ingram's podcast.
Yeah.
Which is a great podcast. And both of them are basically retired at 30. They can't, and they talk about life balance. Like, those are icons in our industry. Like, for me not to listen to them and, like, a guy like Daryl who's had great success, like, I'd be stupid.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell people.
Do you think that it's – sorry, Daryl, just one last question. Yeah. Do you think that exercising could be basically the key? So, for example, if someone wants to work, to grind 7 days a week, as long as he exercises, he has a much better chance to be healthier in, like, I don't know, 5-10 years? What do you think? I
would never recommend anyone play 7 days a week. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's a big mistake to grind 7 days a week. I mean, shorter sessions, fine, but you're going to become socially awkward as well. Like, you're going to be in a room, like, looking at a screen all day, and then you're going to go out to a ball game or a bar, and you're just going to be like, wow, this is weird. Like, I need to be back in my room by myself. Like, it's definitely not healthy to be grinding 7 days a week. I'm pretty firm on believing that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you could approach it with other people is just finding the optimal playing time that makes you the most amount of money isn't just a straight up robotic calculation. I think if you're not factoring in like burnout and study time, if you play 7 days a week, you have no fucking time to study, let alone time to go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's going to affect you. If, like we say all the time, don't do what the fish does. Like the fish just loads up tables, plays, and doesn't study. Every day in and day out. So if you're doing that, you're just like following the fish recipe, basically, So
yeah, and it's funny you say that because that's exactly what I've done this year. I'm only playing 2-3 days a week, but I'm studying the other 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4. Like I'm still putting in work. It's just like I'm able to go to the gym. I'm able to go out for dinner. But I'm still studying and thinking about the game on actually a much higher level by studying. So yeah, I mean, I'm 100% in agreement with that. I think studying is the most important thing in poker outside of the mental game.
What types of study do you use that help you? Like, what is the most effective for you?
I mean, hand histories are still good and watching videos are also good. I kind of just look at my HEM. I look at HEM and I filter my stats and I just see what position I'm struggling from. Like right now I'm struggling from the button, which I know Daryl's not going to like because he was on me about this last year, about me playing way too nitty from the button.
You're doing that again?
I'm struggling with the same thing. Like I need to have some more 4-bets. I think it's like a fear of getting 3-bet or flatted, which I shouldn't even care about. Like I want people to flat. I'm going to own them in position. But yeah, it's one of the spots like I need to be winning a lot more at. So yeah, I try to focus on like one thing per week that I can become great at, and then I move from there.
That's a cool way to do it because you kind of just see that progress,
Oh yeah, like my buddy does it in cash games, and he's like, dude, I'm losing from the cutoff, so I'm going to start doing this week. And then he filters his hands a week later, and he's like, yep, winning from the cutoff. And I'm just like, genius. Like,
easy game.
Do you have
right? I mean,
sorry, just go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was asking is, do you have like goals like that every week or day, or is it just randomly? Like today I'm going to focus on this, next I'm going to focus on that?
I'd be lying if I did this every week. A lot of times I just do reviews and like I sweat my buddy playing cash. I watch training videos on Tournament Poker Edge, run it once. But yeah, just to think about the game. But yeah, if I was to be the best professional I could be, I would have one goal per week. And that's what Kuhn actually talked about, like having these little goals to like accomplish per day. They weren't poker related. It's like call my family friend or something like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think having those little goals to accomplish, you feel better about yourself, whatever, like ends up working out well. So yeah, studying one position per week or like maybe like 3-betting the big blind, something like that. I think studying that for 1 week, you're going to get so much better at that exact spot, which helps your whole game.
Yeah, that's like what I focus. I mean, me and Pedro, I think, do a lot of that. We just take like one area of the game, really try and improve at it, move on, eventually come back to it, take another area, really improve at it, come back to it. Me and Pedro's like me and Pedro have been doing for profit, so we kind of put in like 200 hours together or something, some kind of crazy amount like that.
Yeah.
And kind of just been doing it that way, at least when we've been doing it correctly.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I mean it's
because with the game changing so much, it's good to like go back to stuff as well. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, what really impressed me, for example, when I started talking with Daryl, is that how much I actually forget. So when last year you talked about basics, for example, for like 2 months, after half a year, basically Daryl comes to you and asks you a question, and you're like, "Huh, I used to know that." And and it's very, very often that I'm like, man, this is really basic. Why did I forget about that? And it's just because you focus on so many other things that, like the real basics, you just completely ignore them. One pretty simple example is I started 4-betting King Queen like all the time, basically, versus like in very good spots to do it. But I never did it in the past because I was always like ace heavy. Just a very simple example. And now Daryl said, yeah, but it's such a good blocking hand. And I'm like, oh my god, yeah, so true. Instead of like, I don't know, ace 7 or something like that. And
when you're called, you usually have more equity with King Queen, which is nice. A lot of flips.
yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
having 2 blockers is the nuts too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very forgetful on stuff as well, and I go back and I'm like, damn, like literally 7 months ago, Daryl was like, just open your button blind, fold it. Like your RFI from the button should be 60%. And then I look yesterday and 30,000 hands I played this year on one site, I'm opening like 33%, and I'm just like, or 36. And,
shaking my head right now.
No, but Daryl, I'm limping a lot too. I'm probably limping like 7 to 8. So, but still, it's way too low. And like Daryl, like literally, like almost put a tattoo on my forehead saying, or like my hand saying, like open blind, because yeah, I mean it's just a spot I should be printing at, and everyone else is printing but me. But yeah, again, it goes back to what you were saying, Pedro. Sometimes you do forget. You get so. There's other spots to focus on, but yeah, going back to the basics, just clicking raise, sometimes is hard.
Yeah.
What's so cool about poker is it always, like, forgetting is a huge thing, but what's so cool about poker is just everything's interconnected. Like if you want to know how to 3-bet, you got to get better at opening. If you got to know what people are opening, you got to get better at opening. You got to know how people should 4-bet. You got to know how people should 5-bet, and so on and so forth. You want to know how to play the flop? Well, you got to play pre-flop well. You got to play turn well. You got to play river well. You want to learn how to play versus c-bet. You got to learn how to like c-bet well. Like all this shit's like interconnected. So it's like when we revisit that topic, like let's say we revisit 3-betting or we revisit opening. Well, we just worked on our 3-bet game and our 4-bet game and our 5-bet game. So now we have all this new knowledge, and we could go deeper into opening and like deeper and deeper and deeper. There's always like this extra level, and you can't really get there unless you look at like the whole picture and kind of just like improve everywhere else, you know?
Oh, like adding on to that, like 3 to 5ing was like never even in my thought process a year and a half ago. And now it's like, okay, if I'm 3ing here, I'm definitely 5ing. Like, so yeah, everything it's crazy how everything does come together. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to say too about studying though. Like, I know I'm very aware that people are better in spots than I am. Like Nick Eunice, for instance, one of the U.S. grinders, was really good and very profitable defending out of the big blind. So I studied his game like for a couple hours one night. Daryl and I did the same thing with another U.S. pro, Marc, who's absolutely destroying live. And we put together a strategy to combat him. And I think that, like, sweating really good regs on stars, stuff like that, I think that's all almost a must if you want to get better at the game, because other people are doing things that I would never imagine doing. Badler used to do stuff that I was like, that's bad. And, well, he's probably one of the best players in the world, so it can't be bad. But I want to know why he's doing that. So, yeah, studying opponents and, like, some of the better regs I think is, like, very, very underrated as far as like studying goes.
Yeah, I mean, watching videos is a pretty cool way to do that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So you can put a ton of hours in watching videos. You can get so lost in it.
I usually go to sleep to videos.
Yeah, me too.
Like, because, you know, like when you're sleeping, you'll still be taking in like some of the stuff. I mean, I wake up and I'm like, I see hands, but yeah, I find it somewhat soothing to go to sleep listening to a training video for whatever reason, or a podcast.
Yeah, it's basically like what is it Joseph Murphy who talked about it? Like whatever you think about the last thought you have before you go to sleep is basically what your thoughts will process, like what your brain will process during the night. And if you think about something, even though you don't even remember that you saw it or heard it, it's because your brain really heard it and just processed that. Do you have that feeling? Is it when you wake up in the morning and you
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I will, yeah, I mean, like I said, I basically see hands in the morning in my head. When I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, ace jack and the cutoff? Like, what am I going to do? Which is kind of sick in a twisted way. But I don't think I'd have it any other way. I mean, I love the game, and like just hearing Daryl talk about all like, you know, like, we'll go back to 3 betting. We go to 4 betting now. Now we're going to opening ranges. Like, that's what keeps me wanting to get better at this game. I mean, like, I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And like the fact that now I can balance my life and still get so much enjoyment. Like, all Daryl used to say to me last year, he's like, dude, I'm so excited to play every Sunday.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm like, really? I want to shoot myself. But now I'm totally opposite. Now I'm like off on Friday, Saturday usually, and like Sunday is like, it's Christmas for me. I'm like, Christmas is here. Like, can't wait to get up and, you know.
Pedro says the same exact thing.
Absolutely, man. 100%. When it's Sunday, oh my God. I can't wait for the time to come and I'll be like grinding. Oh man.
Yeah. And Sunday used to be the day, like, whatever, you're either going to be really happy or really mad. Now I don't even get mad. I just kind of accept it. And I never could do that last year.
Yeah.
Before I learned how to like mentally approach MTTs and just the game in general. And yeah, now I can just deal with like losing 3K, and I'm just like, well, that sucked, but we're alive and healthy, so, you know, let's get better next week. Like, I just look at the positives and stop thinking about how my ace jack lost to ace 10 on the river. Like, I could really give 2 shits now.
Yeah. That's so
which is a big step.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. I mean, a lot of people that are listening to this are like, would be like, oh my God, I wish I could think like that. For sure. You know, I already know, because 5 years ago, if I would have listened to exactly what you just said, I would be like, oh man, I would love to be like him. You know, like exactly what you said. And
I mean, just thinking about meditation, like, I would have laughed at you 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I would have been like, meditation? Like, even when Daryl sent me this Elliot Rowe, the mental coach, I was like, wow, really? Like, I don't know about all this. And then look at me now. Like, now I'm reading fucking Buddhist books and shit, like trying to get like on point. I want to be the best at meditating. I want to be better than every other person at meditating.
You really
What Buddhist
sound
books
like
did you
someone.
get? What Buddhist books did you get?
It's like I don't have it here actually in Tahoe. I had one like on some general, God, I can't remember his name. I have trouble with a lot of the Buddhist books, understanding them. I've watched a couple documentaries on YouTube that have been great though. Help me understanding. And Ben is big on he's bringing a couple books. Ben Reason actually gets here in a couple days. He's like one of the goats of meditation, so I'll be excited. I'm excited about that too.
Yeah, I'd love to get him on the podcast if he'd be interested.
I'm sure he would, for sure.
Awesome.
Well, can you recommend me any books? I mean, is it bad that I struggle reading them? Like, I don't understand a lot of them.
You know who you'd love? Alan Watts. His stuff is really amazing. It's really easy to understand. He's amazing speaker, and it's just really interesting. He has, hundreds of hours of shit on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
I would just watch his stuff. Some of his stuff's like a little weird and trippy, but like most of the stuff.
I like that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Weird.
I actually gravitate to the weird stuff for some reason.
Have you read the book? What is it? The Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Zen and the Art.
One of my favorite books of all time.
Yeah, if you have not read that,
No, I haven't.
Do you have it?
I don't.
Oh yeah, then
tell me about it, please.
Definitely get it. It's basically like a father and his son. It's like basically the story of meditation and Buddhism of that, but more in like the moral of the story type. He's talking about stuff that has nothing to do with it, and then he gets into the deeper levels of how very simple things like a motorcycle braking, like you cannot drive it anymore, how that can relate to your happiness and so on. It's a very, very interesting book.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book because it's this father and son road trip on motorcycles, and he just explains the whole kind of, they're going through all these beautiful back roads and through the Midwest, and just explaining the scenery and all that shit's going on. So there's this really cool story in the background, and it's really interesting stuff on being in the moment, Zen type of stuff. And then there's what I really love is the logical part of it. He really gets into logic and breaking shit down, and Aristotle and ancient Greece and Socrates and Plato.
Yeah, see, I'm more on the level of just because I'm still beginner in meditation, but just the deep breathing for meditation has helped so much. When I take bad beats and stuff, they're gone in 3 seconds now. But I definitely want to take that next level. Yeah. Because I'm kind of obsessed with being I want to be the best at everything I do. So meditation now is one of the goals, and that's why I'm really excited Ben's coming, because Ben is, he meditates for 45 minutes. I'm lucky if I can get 10 minutes in before my.
Me too.
And he talks about hitting the meditative state often, and I'm damn, I've hit it twice.
Yeah,
and
it's so hard for me.
It was the greatest high of my life. I've done every drug you could imagine: PCP, shrooms. Is that okay to say? Who cares, right?
Yeah.
I've been high before on everything, and nothing compares to hitting that state where I was just floating. Basically, it was amazing.
I had a meditative state the first time I did meditation. It was so sick. I was sitting outside for 6.
Run better.
Yeah, it's but since then I only had it one
first time.
Yeah, really, the first time, and for an hour. And the crazy part was the only thing I focused on. I closed my eyes and I sat outside, and it was really warm, like summer, and I was basically just touching my feet. That was the only thing I did, and I was really just focusing on touching my feet and this sensations. Is that the right word? Yeah. So basically, trying to feel it. And the crazy thing about that was that when I got back to the gym the next day, I could balance my body. Up till today, I can balance my body perfectly in every single, whatever I tried to do before, I could never do. And after that day, I just could do it because, you were for 1 hour just focusing on your body balance.
That's weird.
No.
Do you have a foot fetish now after that experience?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm kidding. I had to.
No, but it's I totally agree with you, man. Meditation is so important. And so
okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys something though. Do you find meditating in silence better, or are you more like, I don't know if you know about Headspace, the program, the app.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm more like, I do better with the guided meditation. Like with Elliot, or like his MP3s, or Headspace, for instance. Being in, like, I guess there's certain scenes where I'm okay being dead silent, but I feel like my mind races in other places, which obviously takes away from what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So tell me what you guys do. Are you guided meditation or silence?
I've never been into the guided that much. I tried it a little bit. I just don't really like it that much. I've done music a lot, just having like some music. Lately, the past few months, I've been doing it kind of silent, but it's also been some of the worst meditation I've had in the past 2-3 months, to be honest, though.
It's tough. It's tougher when you do it in silence.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm going to switch back to music. I just don't really like the guided ones unless you have some that are really good, in your opinion.
Have you done Headspace?
No, I never tried
It's
it.
fantastic.
I mean, I think just focusing on, they help me focus on my breathing a lot more, and just like, I mean, dude, I had this pain. Oh, fuck, I better go into this because this was amazing. So I have, like I said, I've been crying and moaning about my back, and so I did a pain one with Elliot. We did a guided meditation where it was all about pain and how my mind actually controls the pain. And I shit you not, after an hour of doing it, I got up and I was pain free. It was the most amazing experience I've ever had. Literally all of my pain in my back was gone. Now, I mean, it's somewhat back now, but the fact that I was making the pain way worse because, like, it was there and it was bothering me, like, realizing that now, like, I can kind of control the level, it affects my life, which is really weird to think about, but yeah, I've had some pretty epic one-on-ones with Elliot where, like, I got up and I was like, holy shit, like, that was weird. But yeah, like, so I the Headspace, back to that, like, just like the breathing, like, focusing on your feet and, like, moving it through your body. I don't know. It's worked really well for me. I mean, I like music as well. Like, I just do, like, birds chirping and, like, water flowing, and I've had success with that as well. The silence, I'm like Mr. ADD. I'm like, wow, man, like,
It's hard.
I need to click register.
Yeah, it's hard.
I will send you something here. Try that. It's very, very simple. It's basically just some sounds, and it's very weird at the beginning. It's like 40 minutes or something like that. And there is more on it on YouTube, and they have about like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever time you want to do. They also have like 10 minutes, and it's called I Am. I don't know if you ever heard about that. But
I haven't, but I will definitely give it a shot.
It's fantastic. The only thing he tells you is basically what to think about exactly, and this is only one sentence. And then there are like some sounds, like you explained, from birds and so on, but it's not like birds, but it's those what they used in Egypt, what they drank out, like golden, I don't know the name of it, but like golden glasses or something, and they do like they do sounds with it, and I couldn't believe it, but since I started doing it, it's fantastic. You get into that meditative state super fast. When you do it like 2 or 3 times, you get used to it and you like it. You get into that state within 5 minutes max.
Yeah, like, that's my new, I mean, I used to be a big pothead. That's my new marijuana, is that meditative state is like my new high. I'm obsessed with it.
And it's cheaper also.
It's an amazing feeling, and it's all natural.
Yeah.
I'll send you this thing. It's there's a huge meditation thread on the Joe Rogan forums, and there's a ton of really great stuff on there, actually.
Yeah, definitely let me know if you liked it, because I never sent it to anyone besides me. I don't even know why.
I'll check it out as well.
As far as meditation goes, I'm down to try anything. I mean, I think everyone's going to have their own, recipe for what works and what they like. But I'm down to try anything, because I would have never tried meditation a year ago. Like, I would have just laughed. Yeah. Just not really something I would ever imagine doing. And now, like, if I don't do it in one day, I'm mad at myself.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to get someone who's never done it before to really try it without talking to them a lot about it.
I think that most people like that question is one of the most important questions that I ever thought about. What you just asked. I think that most people need to, how do you say that, to link their goals to meditation. Like meditation has to be clear to them that it's bringing, like, showing them how to get to reach their goals. Because I think most people just don't see how meditating can bring me money. And
Yeah, and that's really what it does.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and that's not why I do it, but like the result of meditating is going to make you a better person, a better player, more confident, I mean, there's so many positives from it. I told Jordan Christos a long time ago that I was doing it, and I kind of didn't expect him to, give it a shot, and he gave Elliot a shot, and he loved it, and like he hit me up like 5 paragraphs on like why this is the most amazing thing, da 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 da, and I'm like, yeah, bro, like it's pretty amazing, like, and it helps play, like if you're gonna be playing your A game more, that should be enough to do it. Like if I said eat a piece of shit and you'll play your A game more, Pedro and Daryl would be eating shit right now. Like, I mean, it's that simple.
Man, definitely.
I mean, seriously, like if I said, like, trust me, your ROI will go up, like it's changed my life, would you both not try?
No,
I mean, maybe not.
I would try it.
I don't know.
I would try it.
I would at least consider it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, see, like yeah. All right, good.
And let's go back a little bit to the people when they start off and why they don't see the value. Most people on the 2+2 forums and in other forums, and I'm sure on your side on TPE too, they mostly think about the technical aspect of poker. Is there anything else that you'd say besides meditation and Elliot that really helped you outside of poker? I mean, but like for poker.
I mean, definitely the exercising and like making it a point to do other, like get out of the house once or twice a week. Yeah, just like being a little more social, even though like I was happy just playing poker every day. At least I thought, but I didn't realize how bad of an effect it was having on my social life. Like when I went out, like I said, I would struggle. Like I'm like a social butterfly, I guess, and I wasn't because I was trapped inside this room grinding. I was basically a slave to the game. So yeah, just, I mean, like I said, life balance, but making it a point to get out of the house, exercise, eat well, all that with the meditation. Like, I mean, I don't want to plug Elliot too hard, but the guy is amazing. Like he changed my life. If you met me in real life, you would be like, you would bet $1 million that I wouldn't meditate. I mean, I wear a backwards hat, saggy jeans, like listen to rap music. And like now I'm preaching Buddhist meditation. Like I'm all for it. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the problem with most poker players. They're like too cool for school. Like they're like, oh, I'm gonna 5-bet. It's like, dude, fucking meditate. Get with it. Like,
do you guys remember the Josh Weiskin podcast? I think he said he coaches the top guys in business, like elite guys, and he's saying the vast majority of people are meditating at the highest level.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just, I guess, just getting people to, I mean, showing that a lot of successful people do it. I think it's that robotic mindset that comes to how many days they play per week comes into play as well. Like, they don't consider their feelings at all.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like, it's just, I'm a robot. I put in X amount of dollars with the tournaments. I get X back.
And there's another huge problem. And I get that answer from a lot of my students and clients. When you talk with them about meditation and workouts and so on, they say, "Well, I will do that once I have money."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I was.
Once I have money, I have more time, and then I'm gonna work out. What would you guys say to that?
Go ahead, Daryl. You fire first.
Yeah, because I don't know what the fuck to say.
You're probably going to wait for me and then steal some of my thunder.
I was totally waiting for you. Pedro has all the hard questions.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Yeah, it's just changing that robotic mindset, basically. Like, they have to realize that quality is just way more important than quantity. I remember Chase being on the whole quantity over quality thing for a while, and I just played a bunch. I played like a ton of tables at once, 12 to 16 tabled, and just got in 6-figure makeup like multiple times. I think once or twice I did it because of that. And quality is just so much more important. Like, I think all three of us were pretty close to 100% ROI guys, and that has a lot to do with our life balance, the amount of days we play. And I don't think there's too many 5-6 day per week guys who are getting that 100% ROI.
Yeah,
I agree 100%, especially with the robot mentality. Like, I think people are trained like grind, make money. But I mean, three of us are telling you, and like, we're three of many. Poker has now become like, everyone is going to this 3-4 days a week strategy, and everyone's really successful with it. So, I mean, I was the same way though, like thinking like, I'm going to hit the gym once I get $100,000 in my bank account.
Yeah.
That took a lot longer than I wanted.
Yeah, me too.
So what I ended up doing was every year it was like 10, 15 pounds more. And now I'm trying to exercise, and like, literally, I played basketball the other day for 20 minutes, and there was a part of me that was like, fuck, should I call 911? Because I kind of feel like I'm going to croak. So, like, the longer you wait, the worse it gets. And just saying now how good I feel, eating healthy, meditating, exercising, like if you're coming up now listening to this podcast and, like, you want to make this your profession, you could beat all three of us to the punch and start doing this now, and you're going to be 10 times as successful. Guaranteed. Now, I still wouldn't take back my work ethic when I was coming up, like grinding 7 days a week. I just would have made it grind 4, study 3. And I think I would have had way more money, been way happier, and got way more pussy.
Dude,
which is all important.
Do you have a podcast or something? You should, man.
No.
You have like the perfect style to entertain people, or at least get like randomly on Big Dog's Twitch or something like that.
That's
Well, I think it's just people are afraid to be real, and I'm just like, I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks about me. I'm way past that.
Yeah.
So
When Pedro
I
asked
appreciate the compliment, though.
When Pedro asked me who should we get on, I think you were the first guy I mentioned. Like, we just have to get this guy.
Yeah.
Because Daryl and I shoot the shit for quite a bit. Like, we have a good time, but we get a lot of work done too.
Yeah, and that's what people sometimes don't understand, that you can have fun while you study poker. And this is something with Daryl.
I think you'll like this turn of the conversation, Pedro, because I think that same mindset comes to finances as well. Like, I'll start investing once I get 100K in the bank, or start investing once I get 50K or 20K or 10K or whatever.
Yeah.
So how do you change that mindset? It's just like the same way. What's your opinion?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, what I did for years is that I had to make people understand that. I think the best analogy that you can use is when people go to the gym. Whenever I start talking with someone and he says, I want to become a millionaire, first thing I say, just think about a guy that goes to the gym and wants to hit the gym 6 times a week after for 10 years he didn't do anything. Like, how often does that work? And most of the time people will be like, oh no, that doesn't work. He will do it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then he will be like, okay, there are no results. I will stop. And so I start showing people that once you hit, when you start small, it's more likely that you get there, because you won't hit many walls. The biggest problem is that people hit walls very fast when they want to achieve big things. I want to hit the VSOP main event, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but you just started playing $1 tournaments. Don't put that big goal in front of you. And then they get to 10 grand, and then they fly to Las Vegas, and then they play the WSOP, and then they lose. And they're like, oh my god, my life sucks. Instead of saying, I played the $1, then I played the 2, then I played the 3, and then I have enough money to eventually play the WSOP. And even if I lose, I come back and I still have enough money to grind the $100 tournaments. It doesn't affect their lives. And to see the little steps. I think that's the most important thing in the financial part. To never go back,
Just like in poker.
Yeah, to never go back. That's the
I'm
most
finding.
important thing.
Yeah, I'm working. So I have a couple. I picked up a couple students slash horses this year, and that's exactly what I see in them. They're like so obsessed with, like, I don't want to say the fame in the game, but getting to a point where, like, they want to be playing the $200 every week, and I'm just like, dude, it doesn't work like that. Like, you have to start somewhere and prove yourself at this, and then you steadily climb. Like, not everyone can be the guy that deposited $50 and wins the main event. Like, it just doesn't happen. And if we want to rely on luck, go buy a scratcher.
Yeah.
It takes, so much into this game to be successful. Like, where the little steps, like the studying for an hour, like, will make you, end game. Like, in the end, you'll be playing the main event every year. Yeah. Just gotta stay patient and not give up.
And have you ever dabbled into the world of finance or anything like that?
No, like, I mean, I bet sports quite a bit. I do daily fantasy, so I think I have some of the right tools for it, like, because I have gamble in me. But no, I haven't. It's just something like I've definitely thought about.
Okay.
But yeah, no. I'm guessing you do that part time on the side of poker, or
No, I'm doing it for like 12 years now, and I started playing poker after that. So basically, I got financially independent first, and then I got into poker. So basically, what we do, we create systems, where people reach that goal one time. That basically, just imagine you have like an amount of money that you get every single year to pay your bills. The money's there.
that would be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I created for years. And I talked with Daryl, and I was like, man, people in the poker community don't really have that. They don't have anyone showing them that. But when you think about
It's like professional athletes as well. Professional athletes, you see them go broke all the time.
Exactly. I mean, think about Michael Jordan. I heard he was broke one time, even after he retired, which is crazy.
What?
I mean, Allen Iverson's dead broke.
Yeah.
Antoine Walker owes a casino $200,000. The guy made $40 million. I mean, because they didn't have the necessary tools to succeed after, or they weren't smart with their money.
Yeah.
I made like $1.5 million, and I don't have much money right now. So,
But you have 2 kids, so
yeah,
No,
okay.
come on. It's not because of the kids.
those are expensive.
it's just bad financial planning, basically.
And-
Dude, but you won your money when you were 17 too. Like, you started off hot, and you're like, well, my shit doesn't stink. I'm going to destroy this world. I mean, if
Yeah.
I was 17 and won the kind of money you did, I probably wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be playing poker right now because I would have shit it all. Like, I would have started playing like 25, 50 and stuff and would have been broke in a couple months.
Just imagine that someone would walk up to you at that time, would have told you, you know what? You can spend all your money, but just save 10% of that, of the exact amount that you have here, spend the other 90%, and for the rest of your life, you would never have to work anymore. Would you do it?
I mean, yeah, where do I sign?
Yeah. So, and the crazy part is that I met those people, who told me that. They told me exactly this sentence, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. How do I do it, and where? And just imagine, this is the thing for poker. Even like a guy that comes to you who wants to get coached by you, Marc, and if you tell them all the right things at the beginning, they won't struggle that much. And a lot of
I wish that was the case. My horses don't listen to me, so.
Oh yeah, that's.
But I do wish that was the case.
It's so funny that you say
It drives
that.
me fucking nuts.
Oh,
No, it drives me nuts. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Go ahead.
don't be sorry. No, it's exactly the same experience I have. I talk to Daryl all the time, and I'm like, man, why do these people not listen to me?
I hate that argument, and whenever Pedro tells me that, I get mad at him or give him some other excuse. Like, I don't think your job as like a teacher is to get people to listen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the job.
Wow, what is it then?
Your job is to help them think, help them learn, show them cool things, see if they like it or not.
But
Make
what
it interesting,
frustrates
make it
me
fun.
What frustrates me though, Daryl, is that I'm somewhat proven, and I've done the right things to get where I'm at. And I try to get these kids, 21-year-olds, 22, I want them to do it my way, which is selfish because everyone comes up differently. But I only have the recipe for what worked for me.
Proceed, Gino.
Yeah, sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what worked for me, so that's all I can teach them.
If that was like coaching, like all the elite athletes would be like whoever's at the top would be the best coach. You know what I mean? You would just tell people things, they listen, and easy game.
That's
There's
a very
no
good
like
point, actually. Yeah.
we wouldn't
It is
need
a very
any
good
we
point.
wouldn't need any like philosophy of education and teaching and all these books. Just like know the most shit, tell the most shit, you win. You know?
Oh man.
Hank Haney.
But
You know,
But it's
Hank
like-
Haney is like the
yeah.
best coach. Like Hank Haney would never fucking hire Tiger Woods would never hire Hank Haney as golf coach because like he fucking knows nothing compared to Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? He can't play the game. So it's a really like difficult, complex
Yeah.
subject.
So
I mean, if like Michael Jordan told me to shoot 500 free throws a day and do this dribbling drill, I would do it.
That's
Like,
because
I just would.
yeah, I mean everyone I meet who's like successful and happy and like crushes, we all have like the same thing in common, like
Yeah.
that just drive to succeed. Like, you know, our thing is called change the why because everything like boils down to the why you're doing something. If you're not going to do something, there isn't a big why. For every like successful guy, it's like me, you, Pedro, I mean, Jason Kuhn or whatever. It's just the why is just we want to be good at everything. We want to be better at everything. We're just love to improve. We're just like addicts. We're addicted to
Yep.
it. You know what I mean? So if I tell you a way to get better, you're like, fuck yes. You know, I tell you to eat the piece of shit. You're like, fuck yeah.
Where is it at?
how big is it? I'll take it.
Yeah. Can I put sauce on it?
Man, that's so true. Yeah.
Yeah, so most people don't have that attitude for whatever reason, or that just isn't that big of a why for them, you know?
So is it important to change their attitude? A lot for them, for themselves, I mean.
If there's a recipe for success, it's that fucking attitude right there.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I listened to Daryl all last year. I took everything he said and I soaked it up like a sponge. And like, not to toot your horn too much, but I went from being decent to being really good. Like, because I took everything he did, a guy who's won the Sunday Million, who's all these results, and I basically stole everything he did and I added it to my game, along with other coaches as well, Dip Throng, other guys, and Big Dog, Ben. I don't want to leave anyone out. And like, I stole all their stuff to become, you know, like for my own game. And like, I'd be stupid not to keep doing that. Like, to not listen to these people that have succeeded. Like, it's almost like, I mean, just being fucking arrogant, like, and not being able to adapt, I guess, or change. Like, one-sided, like, one-track mind. I hate it.
But
and I think people will struggle with that if they're that way.
But also, you know, a lot of the time, what I found out is that people are not aware of it. You know, they're not aware that they're actually ignoring what you're saying. It's like, I don't know if you ever had that feeling, but you know, like you talk to a student and you're like, dude, I told you last week 10 times to not do this, whatever. You know, like don't.
Yes, I had that yesterday.
Okay, and he's like, but man, I'm not doing it. You know, I'm listening to you, and you know they say that, and then I was like, man, why do they think that they're actually doing it? But when I show them their hand histories, they are not doing it. I think that a lot of the time,
Same mistake over and over.
right? Yeah, and it's really because people are not aware of it. They don't do it intentionally. It's just, you know.
I think Pedro, me and you had an interesting discussion about like just changing up the way I coach completely, because I kind of just realized like Pedro's the exact kind of guy you just tell him what you think is right, and he will either one listen or even like just take it further. Like I'll like talk about an idea and he'll like think deeper on the idea and like add to it. So like I changed my coaching style from like just asking him really tough questions to just mostly just telling him what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And
So then it allows more of like the student to get involved, whereas he's not just listening to a concept. He actually, I like that a lot, actually.
It only really works with like Pedro or work with you. Like if I was the session with you, Mark, I'd probably just like tell you shit all the time. But most people, I just have to ask questions and have them think, because like either they just don't listen or they're not able to like add. Like if I'm just telling them stuff, they're just willing to just passively accept what I say and not add to the conversation. Like I tell you guys what's up, and you guys are like really thinking about it, and adding to the conversation would kind of like further integrates it into memory, because you're not a passive observer. You're thinking about what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Rather than just like taking it in, which I think is a huge difference when it comes to memory.
Yeah.
100%.
Who was that guy, Vince Lombardi, who wrote that
The
book?
GOAT?
No, Daryl knows him. Vince Lombardi.
He's
He's the coach. He used to coach the Green Bay Packers. He has some of my favorite quotes of all time.
Yeah, and Daryl told me that he's like very good at understanding different people types.
yeah,
Was that
exactly.
What?
Yeah,
Why he's one of the,
What did
He would
make
just
so
have
well?
different. He would just have different coaching styles for every single person. Like some guys who would be really hard on and yell at when they made bad plays. Some guys who would kind of just do the complete opposite, and kind of everywhere in between. And I read it so long ago, but he just said like he treated every single player uniquely on the team.
Did you read the John Wooden Pyramid of Success? Remember I told you, and like the Phil Jackson book, like
Yeah, I read both
those
of
are
them.
two of the other best coaches in the world, and the way they deal with each individual is kind of amazing. You're right. You can't deal like, I mean, you know this as a coach. You can't deal with everyone the same way. Everyone has a different attitude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I should start thinking about that too with my horses now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really thinking.
crazy, right? I mean,
God damn it.
I read the Dennis Rodman books, and I mean they're crazy. But one thing that he said about Phil Jackson was that Phil Jackson never told him to do things that other people had to do. Like everybody was, throwing free throws and shooting free throws and all that stuff. And he always just told him, if you want to hit the gym, hit the gym. If you want to, work with us, work with us. But you have to invest that time for basketball. Like let's just say 5 hours a day. But whatever you choose to do, you just do it. I will never give
Yeah,
you.
go to clubs, whatever. It doesn't matter. Stay out
No,
till
no,
3
no,
a.m.
no, no, dude. But basically, that's what he did, right?
And Rodman
Yeah.
was the key, but Rodman was the missing puzzle. I mean,
Yeah.
when he came, they won all the championships. So
Yeah.
Phil obviously knew just to let him do his thing, because if he probably fought that, it would have fucked up the team chemistry.
Yeah, and like what is so important about this to see, I think for us also, for us three, is that everybody's so unique, and just saying that, Mark, just do this and that, and you'll be like, okay, I'll do it because it makes me more successful, makes sense for us. But I guess we should read those books to understand it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this Jason Kuhn tweet. I remember reading it a year ago. That's going way back. We're going back 30 minutes of conversation, but he tweeted out, spent the last, I don't remember how many days. It's a lot of days, like 30 days or 60 days. Did 30 or 60 days in a row or something of falling asleep while reading a hand history.
Huh.
Which,
Wow.
yeah.
And he is literally, like, right now, nobody's hotter, other than maybe Tay Paul if he wins the WPT Thunder, which would be absurd to win two back-to-back, like, in the same 30 minutes away. It'd be
I mean,
insane.
Yeah, and I read this after he won a bracelet.
Definitely.
Oh, he won a bracelet?
I'm pretty sure he won a bracelet. I could be wrong. Sorry.
I don't think so.
I think he did. No, you're probably right.
Oh, well. And he won a World Poker Tour High Roller 2 weeks ago or something. And the Super
Yep.
and the Super
Jason
Tuesday.
Kuhn we're talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Kuhn, yeah.
He won the Super Tuesday, and then
Yeah.
3 days later he's on Ingram's podcast. He's like, well, yeah, I'm going to play the high roller. Wins that the next day.
Yeah, and wins it. Yeah, exactly. And did you hear about Cronup guy?
Oh, God. He got more money?
Yeah, he wins a tournament every fucking weekend. He won the Sunday 500 2 times last year. He won basically everything. And he is on Joe Ingram's podcast twice. Definitely very, very interesting. And also, he has a site where he talks about books, and his favorite book was Switch. Have you heard about that book?
I remember I watched him on the first podcast, and I remember him bringing that up.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the most amazing books I've ever read. It's about habits basically. What I mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, like what habits do people have? Do like really successful people have? And this book talks about how to implement that in your life and make it really easy. Like fantastic.
Habit. I'm gonna buy it.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna put
I'm
it.
sold. He won the Sunday 500 twice in a year. That's enough.
Yeah.
See, but that's how I am. Like you tell me you love the book. Crown Up guy loves the book. I'm gonna buy the fucking book. Like no question. The second I get off Amazon, buying it. I don't really wait around. And plus I'm aware that like having really good habits or breaking bad habits, is key to success. Like, and I don't want to just know what poker players are doing. I want to know what fucking Michael Jordan did. I want to know what the greats have done to be successful. That's why, like Phil Jackson, the Zen stuff, like the Buddhist teachings. Like, when I read that in high school, I was like, wow, this is kind of interesting. Like, and sure enough, caught up to me in life later on.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting the book there.
Yeah, it's Fedor Holst is a Crown Up guy, so it's his
yeah.
Like he has like 5 books and all that. It's like really interesting stuff. You'll like it.
Cool.
So I wanted to ask something about when you get a student, what is like the first thing that they ask you or you want to do with them? Because a lot of people have a lot of questions when they come to a coach, or they don't even know if they want to coach. They know that it helps, but they don't really know how and why. Is there like something that like a pattern you see?
Most people they ask me how much is the first question they usually ask. And then they ask, like what kind of coaching I do. Is it hand history reviews? Is it Flopzilla stuff? That's something that's actually come up the last couple months. The thing is, I don't take too many students because, like now I'm into the coaching staking thing. Like I actually like staking and coaching a lot more because I can put a lot more hours into it, and I think I work harder at being a good coach, and like because I have something other than just like I actually want these guys to be professional poker players. Like I don't really care about the money. I want to see them succeed so they can be successful in life. And I don't know, there's something about that is more appealing than getting $100 to coach someone. When I'm not even sure I'm worth $100. Like if I compared myself to Daryl, I would be like he's 50 times better. In fact, I've sent a lot of my students that I worked with. I go to Daryl, man. I can't help you. Like I've tried like 3 sessions and I can't get through to you. Please go to Daryl. I mean, I recommend everyone to Daryl. Like his price is fair and like he's passionate about it. So yeah. I'm not that passionate about. I mean, I am and I'm not. I mean, it's just something I need to work on, I guess.
No, that's really true. I mean, he changed me so much. Like you said, like he put me into meditation, playing less tables, and all that stuff, and all those things that go against what people talk about on 2+2, basically. And do you also make videos on TPE?
I do. I started with double or nothing videos, and now I do tournament videos.
Oh, okay. And do you feel that? I mean, this is like maybe a very sensitive subject, but
no, you can ask any question.
Okay, so basically, I always ask myself, how can people make coaching videos and give them away pretty cheap? For example, there is like a 10-hour video series on YouTube for free that Andrew Brokos made, and how can they do that for free? Like for free or like very, very cheap? Is there like what about the learning curve?
It's funny because when Cole South and David Benefield were on Ingram, they were both asked that, and if they could take it back, they probably wouldn't have done it. Like,
oh yeah, I heard that.
Well, they were like they didn't say that, but like they do regret it at a little bit. I don't mind. I don't know, because now I'm at the point like where I am torn if I like making them or not, because I feel like I am giving away a lot and I feel like I'm worth a lot more than I get. not to be cocky or anything. It's just how I think. I don't know. Like at a certain point, you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, is it bad to give back to people, to help people? I mean, I remember coming up in poker and I used to ask people for help and nobody helped me. Like I just wanted someone to like tell me what I could do, bankroll management, anything. And I mean, I was reading books, but there wasn't really good material out in 2001. So like I think about that and I think about like just like having someone tweet at me like, just watch AZN All In 007's video and it changed my life. And like, honestly, that's better than winning a tournament sometime. Not to get too soft, but yeah, that's a pretty big feeling for me where I don't mind giving away that for free, honestly. But again, like I do feel like I'm giving away a lot for cheap, like just seeing how I play and whatnot. But I also think it's really hard for someone to watch my video and use my HUD stats and be the same player because, I mean, I played millions and millions of hands. There's not many people that are going to put in the type of work I put in. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people have given me shit for making videos, but I actually, when it's all said and done, I kind of like the feeling of helping people out, I guess.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, the thing that drives me about videos is just like I kind of just want to be the best at them, and just kind of like thinking about ways to do them differently than everyone else is just really fun. And I don't care about the info I get out. You know, I'm kind of just like a teacher first / poker player second. You know, there's my new video. I think you're gonna love, Mark. It's actually the whole video. I basically don't say what I do during a hand.
Sick.
And I'm just asking like a whole bunch of different questions, and like if I say something, it's like not an opinion. It's like I'll say like actual facts, and then I'll like have them think about that. Like I'll have them use that info to like ask like different questions, and I'll ask questions for like intuitive players, for mathy players, for logical players, for like GTO guys. So I just make the vid kind of like for everyone, and I think it's going to be really cool because I think some people are going to find out what parts of the game just really interest them. Like, because I'm thinking about the game like so many different ways. I'm just one hand, just looking at it so many different ways that they'll, you know, find a new way that interests them, or just find the way that actually interests them and figures it out. And
I think that keeps the viewer more interested as well. Like I think they'll be like really interested to see future parts, how you respond to the questions. That's what I love about your last series you did. You had everyone, you're like, ask questions like, what would you guys do here? And that interaction is more helpful than just watching a guy spew off for an hour at why he's opening here. I'd rather be able to interact with the coach. That's why I actually prefer one-on-one coaching, although I think videos are great.
there's a big breakthrough that needs to be made in poker videos, and I just really want to find it. I just feel like most
Dude,
people are doing
Daryl,
it
where
wrong.
are you on Twitch, bro? Twitch is taking over. Like,
Do I need to get on the Twitch? Is that what I
I
need to do?
mean, I'm torn because I'd rather you. Yes, you do. There's money. I mean, like, I know you're not in it for the money, but there's good money to be made in it. And you are like perfect for Twitch because you're interacting with all these people watching your videos, and like, it's kind of what you do in your videos anyway, except you're going to be talking to them right then and there.
I feel like that's more for like the Jason Somerville's big dog type of guys who are just really entertaining.
Yeah, but a lot of people want to learn the game from an analytical standpoint, and like you're perfect for that. Like you could even do a hand history review on Twitch, and you would have 1 million viewers after like a month. Like everyone would want to do this, and you'd still make money too, which is always a good thing.
All right, I'll try something
I think
out.
Twitch is the new thing for coaching. It's kind of taking over poker now. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I pull it up every night if someone's streaming. If I'm just chilling, like, I'll watch Derek or Big Dog. Why not?
And also think about, have you watched the Super Tuesday where Jason Somerville got third or something? Fifth?
I watched a little of it, and like, I mean, everyone told me he played horrible at the final table, so I actually really want to see it. I'm not a subscriber, but I think I'm going to just to see that because I know he's a great player, and like a bunch of my good friends who are great players as well said he was playing bad, and I guess I'm kind of shocked. Maybe you can
It's like
tell me yes or no.
well, basically I cannot really say if he played good or not. Basically, what he did is he has a different strategy. He wants to ladder all the time. He's like really into not playing big pots, not playing out of position at all when it's like really close to the final table. So when it was like last 18 players, man, he just I don't know what to say, but there was a hand where he had pocket kings, and he was basically just checking it down on a
This is the hand I heard that he played horribly.
yeah, like
this
queen
is one of the
queen
hands.
10 deuce deuce, and he just checks it down. So basically, he is a different strategy. That's basically what I'm saying here. And also, the beautiful thing about it, poker is not black or white. It's everything. It's like it's completely
Yes.
different. It depends on how you view the game. And he took the small brawl approach close to the final table. And before that, he played like pretty aggressive. He played like a ton of hands. So he just switched gears. And to say that something like that is terrible or bad, I don't know, man. I just think that
It's just different.
Yeah.
So I do need to watch it because I'm not one of those people that's closed-minded. I actually want to see what other greats are doing. I mean, his results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was kind of shocked when I heard that. So I'm with you though. I don't think different means bad at all.
And do you know Wushu TM?
I don't.
He's basically a beast. He plays like 5k 6 max, has like a 5% or 4% ROI in them. Super crazy.
Jesus.
He has like in MTTs he made millions online, and he's one of the best. And Jason Somerville was laughing at him because he had, just imagine, he had something like a 50-60 big blind stack, like last 14 or 15 players, and there was another guy with 50-60 big blinds. They were clashing, but really huge pot. And then Jason Somerville said, "Well, I will get to the final table. One of these two guys will not." And it makes sense if you think of it. They played a pot.
I'm torn though. I'm torn because I mean, Daryl and I have gone over this quite a bit about ICM. I'm more like I play to win every tournament, and if that means I miss out on some money jumps, fine. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure I'm into big stack versus big stack. I think that's a good way to make chips late in tournaments, but I also think it's a good way to lose chips. So
Yeah.
I'm torn at what I think is the best strategy there, I guess.
I agree. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if it's the best what he's doing or what we are doing or anyone else, but definitely it's worth considering, I think.
Oh, I want to know why he's doing it for sure. Yeah, and honestly, now that I know that now, if I ever get on stars again and I'm deep with him, I'm gonna fucking play super aggressive against him if he has like that medium stack, like I would anyway. But yeah, I want to know what everyone's doing that's successful.
Yeah,
I'll listen to anything. I don't have to agree with it, but at least I want to know why they're doing it.
Yeah, I think a trade with every single successful person is that they've learned a shit ton from every single person along the way, Yeah. Like whether it be books or forums or videos or friends or just playing against like great players. I think it's just common in every single person.
Yeah. And I mean, one very cool thing about Phil Hellmuth, where everybody hates him, right? And hated him for a long time. Do you remember the hand where he folded aces? Something like last 15 players, and he just pre-flop folded aces because of some pay jump or something. He explained it later. And people...
Wait, did he? Oh my god.
Yeah, he folded aces. I think it was actually on the final table. Not 100% sure, but it was definitely like a pay jump, And then later he explained it, and he said, "Did you ever take a look at the prize out structure? Because there was some anomaly in the prize out structure in that tournament that just imagine there's like 1 million for third place, and there are like 4 people left, and fourth place gets like 200,000.
Oh wow!
So, some like ridiculous pay jump, and everyone was like, "Wow, you cannot fold that," and all that. And then he was like, "Did you take a look at the pay jump?" And there was one guy with something like 5 big blinds or something, and he said,
"Oh wow!"
And then he said, "Well, I lose 20% of the time if he has a pair. So 20% of the time I lose, that huge amount." And they started arguing on 2+2, and actually a lot of people started agreeing with him. It's just a different way to view it, I guess.
Yeah, and we'd be stupid not to actually listen to Mr. Helmuth because, I mean, whether we like him or not, his success in live tournaments speaks for itself. So, like, he does something very, very good live, and I'd be stupid not to pay attention to that. We would be stupid.
Yeah.
I played with him once, and this is a hand I'll never forget it. I just played with him for an hour. Kind of just had like epiphany because he fucking talks all the time, whether cameras are on or not. And there's this was back in the day where it's like there was that theory where it's like you put in a 3-bet or you put in an open and you can't fold to this jam or something like that or whatever. You're like committed pre or whatever. And I remember this hand. It's a spot where it's like he opens or 3-bets, not sure exactly, and the guy jams, and it's a spot where everyone like just calls because they put in that bet and they can't fold or whatever. And then he's just like talking about on the table about like internet guys about like they don't like he's like, oh, they don't realize like you can't like you can fold, like you can actually like get reads and like make decisions and make like good plays. You don't just have to automatically get it in. And
Like it's standard almost. Like, raise call here is standard, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a really standard like raise call, but he like ended up folding or something like that because he had reads or something. I don't know, really stuck out to me and really got me thinking more out of the box. Because back then I would hardly ever 3-bet fold like at certain stack depths unless I had like more than 30 bigs, and I wouldn't raise fold off of shorter stacks because of like you can't raise fold under 15 bigs was a thing back then as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
So.
I got that. It's funny you bring that up because I actually got that from Paul G's when he was a lock pro. Like he told me some hands where he made these massive folds that I don't think anyone would make. And it had me thinking like sometimes basically that a big fold is way better than a hero call. Like if I can make a big laydown like him in spots, and I mean, look at how good he's done live. Like, I mean, it's just amazing to me. Like I never thought about it that way. Like he's done things with pocket queens off like 20 bigs or like 22 bigs that seem impossible to fold, like just spots. And like he lays them down. He's like, my edge is better elsewhere. Like he has ace king or on beat, like just his logic. And I'm like, all right. I don't know if I agree, but
yeah,
you're the goat. So, I mean, yeah, like I think playing outside of the box is great. And thinking outside of the box as well.
Absolutely. I mean, there's one huge thing that I always tell my students. For example, they send me a hand. Let's just say it's a very close one on a final table. You have like ace king and there are like 2 shoves in front of you. And there's ICM and all that stuff. And I always tell them, if this is like a $2 180, I could fold it. Just because my edge is so much higher than these players. Like, I'm so much better than these players, so preserving my stack is so much more important. But if this is like a $60 180, the highest stakes online, I would take it. If I'm up against 8 of the best players, like, I would not pass on a thin edge. And
yeah, absolutely.
And like comparing those two things, and it's the same hand. This is what a lot of people miss. They just play poker like, okay, this is the right answer. And then I'm going to do this for the next 10 years. And in like 2 years, they'll be like, I don't make any more money in poker. I wonder why.
Why? Yeah. Change the why. Change it. Fuck. I mean, it's like the 2+2 thought process, man. Like, it drives me nuts. That's why I stay clear of that forum. Like,
2+2 was gold back in the day.
Oh, I know. That's where all the great players came from.
Yeah.
But now you just have all the trolls and people putting down others. It just seems like a negative place. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Moy.
Man. I know, Daryl. Do you have some more questions?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
You usually have your end of the podcast questions.
Yeah, I always have my 1 or 2 question. But you have yours too. Do you want to start, or should I go?
You go ahead.
Okay. So, Marc, I always like to ask 2 questions in the end. The first one is, if you could travel back in time, okay, 5 years, and you have 1 sentence, or maybe like,
oh God,
or like 30 seconds to tell yourself something, whatever it is, advice or whatever you think is important for you for yourself 5 years ago, what would that be?
Gotta give me like 5. I need to think for a
Sure.
second. 5 years ago.
Yeah, you could travel back in time.
Stump Jack Stack with this as well.
Yeah. Jack Sack, we had him 2 weeks ago, and he took him some time.
I would say to myself, I know it's tough now, but the end result is going to be good.
That's awesome.
That was similar to like Elliot Rowe, actually. He's just like, don't worry, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Well, 5 years ago, I was in the biggest struggle of my life, so
Yeah.
that's exactly what I would tell myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I got it. I win.
You definitely win. And the next thing is, if you would have started all over, today. So if you would wake up tomorrow and all your knowledge is gone, the only thing that you could take with you is a skill. What skill would that be?
That's hard questions.
Yeah. I love those too because, it gets you thinking, if I would lose everything, or if I could travel back, what would I want? What would I need?
My work ethic, for sure. My work ethic's like just the ability to work harder than most. Because say I just wasn't a poker player or something, I think I'd be successful, and not to be cocky or arrogant. It's just me just being confident. I'm really sure I would be successful at anything I do because I don't think there's many people that work harder than me. So yeah, I would take my ability to work hard.
Man, that's a very important one. I think a lot of people don't really know how much work there is, and especially to get to the level that you are in, Mark. There's so much work over the years, and especially when you start at the beginning, a lot of people just say, "Okay, I'll watch a few videos, then I get on the grind." And
yeah, and poker's so easy to quit too because it does become that frustrating, and it's kind of easy to quit, honestly. It seems way too tough at certain points. I mean, I had that happen a bunch where I thought about giving up, and then I don't know, some reason I was obsessed. I was like, I have to win. Yeah, because I started out a big loser. I mean, I was really bad at the game, and it drove me nuts. So
how often did you want to quit?
I think it's really easy to quit.
How often did you want to quit?
How often did I want to quit? Oh shit! I mean, like once a day back in every day. I mean, I used to cry all the time. I've said this before, because my life wasn't going anywhere. But I don't know, some reason I just said fuck this. I'm gonna beat this. People have told me I couldn't do shit my whole life, and I kind of listened to them in certain stuff, sports, whatever. And I kind of just said fuck it, fuck everyone. I'm gonna beat it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
mine's are pretty easy. Just what's your morning routine? What are your favorite books? Recommend your favorite 1 or 2 books, or videos or podcasts.
My favorite book is definitely The Pyramid of Success by John Wooden.
Solid.
I think that's a great book for anything, just being successful in life. It doesn't have to be poker. I think Mr. Wooden's thought process is genius, and I think the Pyramid of Success will work in any aspect of life. And what was the second question?
Morning routine.
Morning routine is get up. It's either gym or coffee. Usually it's coffee, then gym, back home, eat, meditate, and either grind or study / DraftKings FanDuel.
How consistent are you with that?
NFL, I did really well because of my brother. My brother did really well, so in turn I did well.
Not the draft thing, the morning routine.
Oh.
Yeah.
The routine?
Yeah.
But you see what's more important
I'd say
to Mark.
75% of the time. I thought we were going to get into gambling again.
Yeah,
No, I'd say 75% of the time I'm with that routine.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be 100 though, but 75 is
is good.
Speaking of coffee, have I ever showed you Bulletproof coffee?
No.
You'll love it. It's fucking delicious, and it's actually pretty good for weight loss, and it doesn't give you like it slows down like the caffeine rush, so you're not getting that caffeine rush. You're getting it on that slow drip, so it's like energy throughout the day.
Yeah, I'd much rather have that instead of pounding 2 cups a day.
Yeah. So what you got to do in it is you got to put grass-fed butter and coconut oil in it.
So is it hard to make? Can I use it in a Keurig?
Basically, you just like brew your coffee, throw some butter and some coconut oil in it, blend, and drink. That's it.
And it releases the caffeine like throughout the day?
Yeah, it's like a slow drip, so you don't get that caffeine rush, and plus,
Put it in the chat. I got like 50 things I have to do later now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll try anything, like I said.
Yeah, we'll give you a bucket list.
I've actually debated getting off the caffeine. I'd rather not be controlled by a substance, but one step at a time. Caffeine, I mean, I don't know if I could play poker without it, to be honest.
yeah, you have to read about. I'll send you the link. This guy who's like I guess he thought of the idea or he got it from somebody else, but it's pretty interesting. I love it. It's delicious.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, okay, and I'll send you the link to actually, if you're really into coffee, there's like a few like really good coffee things, coffee companies, not coffee things. Check out like Counterculture Coffee. It's supposed to be like one of the best in the world, and they ship out to anywhere in the U.S.
Sick. Get it to Lake Tahoe. We need coffee here.
Yeah.
Tons of it, too.
Counterculture Coffee, that link, they have Bulletproof Coffee. He has coffee. It's pretty good as well. There was one other one. I forgot it, but I got it from the book The 4-Hour Chef by Tim Ferriss. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm going to take all this because I'm not one-track minded. I'm going to take everything you guys said, and I appreciate it. So
Yeah, well,
thank you.
we appreciate the fuck out of having you on, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh, no, this was a blast, man. I love podcasts, man. I get to shoot the shit. I get to cuss. And, yeah, anytime I feel I can help, like, the poker community, like, in any way, I'm all for it. So
Yeah,
that's good.
that's awesome. You've been very, very interesting. Like I didn't know what to expect, but I think you're like a fantastic guest. Really, like.
I'm a weird motherfucker. You can say it.
No.
I'm weird. No, I appreciate that.
I prefer the word interesting.
No, I think it takes a weird / interesting mind to play this game for a living. I think you can't be a normal human being and gamble every day and highs and lows.
That's definitely true.
So yeah.
It's not easy. Okay, man. Thank you very much for your time.
All right.
It was really fun.
Hey, thank you both. Pedro, pleasure meeting you. Daryl, we're setting up next week for Coach.